Hello everyone and welcome to the first edition of this week's news. This will be a weekly show, most like it, where we will be taking a look at some of the gaming news that have popped up over the week. If you wanna read and learn more about anything that you see in this video, please use the links in the description. And if you enjoy the content, please don't forget to like and click the subscribe button that has now appeared in the bottom of your screen. So, without further ado, let's get on to this week's news, see what's been happening. I think we're gonna start out with the bad news and end with the good. This way, hopefully, you won't be left with too bitter of a taste in your mouth. Now, the first piece of news that we're gonna take a look at actually breaks the rules of this series because it hasn't actually happened this week. It's been around for a while and most of you may know about it, but it's about a company that I really love, and so I just want to share this with you guys. So let's take a look. Sadly, it's about THQ's demise. Now, I'm very sad about this. Like I said, I loved this company. I think it was a very nice company for PC gamers. It usually came out with pretty good PC ports. It wasn't afraid to try out new things. And it's just sad what happened to them. You may know them as developing some of the games like Saints Row series, the Darksiders series, Companies of Heroes. Now why this happened, who the hell knows. The opinions are a dime a dozen, including bad management decisions, bad luck, the shift of the gaming industry. THQ's president at the time actually said, Jason Rubin actually said, and I quote, "I think it is incorrect to attribute THQ's predicament with overall changes in the industry. To be sure, all AAA publishers have been under pressure, but THQ had every chance to survive had it not made massive mistakes." So, I don't know what exactly they should have done in order to pull themselves out. It's true that they've had a rocky past this last 2 years or so. The release of Saints Row 3, which, don't get me wrong, it was a wonderful game, I absolutely loved it, but it didn't do quite as well as they expected. And last week their go-to title, I think, in my opinion, which was Darksiders 2. Again, a pretty good game. Yeah, the PC port had a few problems, but nothing major, and they fixed it fast. But a very nice game, which a lot of people have been waiting for quite some time, and again, it didn't do quite as well as expected, and they really needed a good game that year. They were already, by this time, in some trouble, financially. And because of this, and probably other reasons, they just couldn't hold it anymore, and they've eventually had to file for bankruptcy. And they've been bought by other companies, as follows. Sega bought Relic. Ubisoft got THQ Montreal. Koch gets Evolution. Vigil still doesn't have a buyer as far as I know. And that's what happened to the studios. As far as the game goes, Crytek purchased Homefront, Koch Media took Metro and also has the rights now for Saints Row since they purchased Evolution. Now, what exactly does this mean for THQ's games? Well, I know that Metro and Saints Row are still gonna be coming out. So, sadly, as far as how the games are gonna be and if we're gonna be happy with them now that they're under new management, well, I can tell you for a fact that I'm not gonna be happy with Saints Row 4. From what I understood, the protagonist is gonna have superpowers and is also gonna be the president of the United States. What the fuck? What are you talking about? That's not what the Saints Row game were about. How can you put a protagonist that has superpowers? It's also the president of the United States. I don't know, to me that just seems ridiculous, and I honestly don't think I'm gonna be touching that game anytime in the near future. So what can you do? Like I said, very sad news. I feel that THQ usually had good attention for PC gamers. I never really felt like a second-class customer with these guys. Like I said, they usually did quite good ports. And I think THQ will be missed by many, and I think we should all take a moment and just shed a tear, or maybe 1,000 tears. Anyway, let's get on to the next piece of news. Aliens Colonial Marines might be coming to Wii U. Oh my god, no! What, are you kidding me? That game sucked, man. Why would you want to play yet another system with its release? This is horrible news. I'm sorry, guys, but... CEO Randall Pitchford said at PAX East, and I quote, "We'll see, that's not our call. I think developer Demiurge Studios did amazing work. I think it's really cool, but Sega's gotta figure that out. We're doing the best we can." What? Honestly, if that's your best, then I don't want to see your best ever again. And I think the Wii U would be much better off without this edition. I'm not even sure how they plan to sell more copies on that system considering all the bad reviews the game received. I mean, it's not hard, just fire up YouTube or Google, just search for pretty much any review of that game, and you will see what I'm talking about. Every single one of them, I think, trashed the game, and rightfully so. So hopefully we will not live to see this come to pass. Let's take a look at what else we have. Video games help fuel space exploration. Wait, what? Well, apparently this is a real thing, and Mongols have been flying out to the International Space Station by use of the Soyuz craft. The article states, and I quote, "At the South by Southwest conference in Austin this week," and I'm gonna butcher this name, I apologize, Gary Deschayeux explained why he thinks that private companies can make spaceflight radically cheaper and more common. Ideas include having NASA contract with private rocket companies for human spaceflight instead of building all its own craft. So where do games come in, you might ask? Well, Tech News Daily asked Gary at why game creators are attracted to spaceflight, and they got the following answer. If there was something specific to the games industry, it would have to be from exploring virtual worlds. It would have to be creating experiences that let people go into the unknown. I find my drive to go explore is identical and very closely linked with my personal drive to create things for people to explore. The article goes on to pick on a little bit about violence in video games. I thought we were past that already. And they go on to imagine a first-person experience where, I quote, "You really have to be in a calm and imaginative state in order to advance the gameplay." Right. Well, anyway, the article ends with astronaut Mae Jemison stating, "Games could help to ferret out some information about human behavior." And Lever Burton of Star Trek agrees with her by saying, "Using gameplay to problem solve. Fantastic use of technology." Does anyone else feel like a lab rat? Let's take on the next piece of news. Blizzard reveals Hearthstone Heroes of Warcraft, a free-to-play collectible card game. Has the whole world gone mad? What is it this week? Well, at any rate, Blizzard is putting out a collectible card game based on the World of Warcraft universe, it seems. The game will feature typical World of Warcraft classes, such as Rogue, Warrior, Mage, and will also give you the possibility to craft your own cards. The game is set to launch with 300 cards in a variety of rarities, such as Common, Rare, Epic, and Legendary. As far as I know, the game will be coming out for PC, Mac, and iPad, however I do not have a release date just yet. This is a strange little piece of news. Blizzard developing a free-to-play collectible card game, I mean. Well, I guess we'll see where this takes us. And now to end with some good news. Telltale's The Walking Dead releasing on Vita. Yes! This is really good news for all you Vita owners out there. The Vita is quite a nice system, but it hasn't been doing as well as it should, partly because of lack of good games for that system, the weird time at which it was launched in my opinion, and some very ridiculous memory card prices. And while Telltale's The Walking Dead isn't a new and original IP, it's still one heck of a great game which should help bolster the system's roster. So we have a confirmed 2013 launch window for the entire Season 1 of Telltale's Walking Dead on the Vita. However, we do not know yet if they plan to release the entire episode as a single purchase, or if they will keep their episodic format. Honestly, I hope they release it as a single purchase, maybe even with a discount, as I feel it will have more success like that and will end up making a lot more people happy. Well guys, this is all we have for this week's news. If you want to learn more about some of the things we discussed, just check out the links in the description, which I really recommend you do, by the way, because they are some great articles for the most part. And if you require even more information than that, then Google is your friend. This has been your host, Vikings. I hope you all have an amazing weekend, and I will see you next time.